If your feet are tired, achy, and swollen at the end of the workday, your hardworking feet are calling out for some attention. In this video, I'm guiding you through a head-to-toe stress management routine that's cooling, relaxing, and can be done seated. Let's start by soaking our feet. You can use your foot bath or any type of container that will fit both of your feet. I'm going to be using this collapsible container because it has handles, it's easy for me to carry, plus it also has a drain here at the bottom. The water doesn't need to be cold, so I encourage you to do cooler water or at least room temperature. And that's just enough water. I'll add in the Epsom salts. A little goes a long way. You can have everything set up in advance, just a little towel, and underneath the basin or the foot bath or whatever container that you're using, we're going to soak our feet. Now that your feet are soaking in that cool water, have an ice pack, and I'm encouraging you to do this because think about at the end of a hard day, especially in the summer when it's really hot or you're just overheating and been in evening traffic, that's when your body has a lot of inflammation going on. So when we're overheated like that, when we're stressed, the body is already in a heightened state. And so a little bit of cooling doesn't need to be harsh, but something just a little cooling will help to reduce the stress, and this is going to help you wind down in the evening. Place it at your low back, and that would be great for any low back pain. I'm going to be placing this on my abdomen. You may be wondering why I'm going to be using an ice pack against my abdomen. Ladies, this is especially for you. When we have a lot of stress going on, this impacts our core, and so this is our center of gravity, plus it's our emotional center. So when we're already wound up and wired from the day, if you've had a very stressful day, this is when you want to calm down. This is when you want to have that cooling effect long before you get into the evening, because we know that the work isn't done, right? You've still got dinner to prepare. Maybe you have laundry to do. There's lots of things to do at home. Gift yourself some time and actually cool down and actually mellow that center. Okay, now that your feet are sitting in that cooling water, the Epsom salts have dissolved, because remember, our skin is one of our largest organs of elimination, and it also has the capabilities to absorb. So that's why Epsom salts are so great. Think of the natural mineral hot springs. If you have those nearby, I hope you're taking advantage of those. And whether you've got that ice pack sitting behind your low back or across your stomach, now let's take some time to just relax from that head now that we've got the toes taken care of. So we're going to start with just a couple of deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. So just really gently inhale and exhale softly through the mouth. Second, inhale and exhale. Last one, inhale in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Okay, and now we're going to gently rotate and then stretch our neck. So just rotate to one side. You'll no doubt have some cracks and pops. Very normal, very gently. Do your best to keep your shoulders down. Your shoulders might be really tense from the day. That's when we want to release all of that tension. Okay, now hold and go the other direction. And this head to toe relaxation method, this is important because our feet, this is all about mobility. This is about our strength and actually being able to wind down in the evening, even if just for a few moments, and then you can ease into your evening and your home life. Next up, we're going to stretch our head to one side, so opposite hand, opposite shoulder, and just drop your head. The weight of your head is actually helping to stretch out the upper shoulder muscles. Remember to keep on breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. It's a couple more seconds. And exhale and release. Okay, other side. Opposite hand, opposite shoulder. Just gently tip your head to one side. And just gentle breaths. You may want to let out an extra long sigh of relief because your feet have been probably trapped in shoes all day, right? Socks. And when they're swelling, you know where that swelling comes from. And cautions here. I am a health educator. I am an alternative healthcare provider. I am not a clinician. So if there are any contraindications, exhale and release your neck. And I'm talking about things like neuropathy, edema, if you're diabetic. You know if you have issues with your feet. And that's why just a gentle cooling soak can be appropriate for nearly everyone. Of course, if you have any lesions, any sores, things like that, you will already know not to do this. Doing things like a foot soak, a foot treatment, and even if you want to practice reflexology, that comes with cautions, and please know if you have cautions or not. Something as simple as a foot soak, especially something that's cooling like this is already reducing some of that inflammation and all of that swelling, and simply with your feet out, out of their shoes, and while we're wiggling our fingers right here, please use this visual. And I hope that you are pointing and flexing your feet while they are in that water, and just simply taking the time, play with the water. And if you have people at home, hopefully they can participate with you. This is wonderful role modeling. If you have little ones at home, even teenagers, even if you're taking care of older adults, this is something that everyone can enjoy. Take 10, 15 minutes longer if you can, and wind down in the evening this way. Now, keep on wiggling those fingers and hold your hands upright, so fingers pointing upwards. They've been down most of the day, right? So we're going to let gravity work in our favor, because maybe your hands and your fingers are swollen too. All of that tension that our body holds, this is a great time to let all of that dissipate. The next thing I want to talk about is a little bit of aromatherapy. The best way to use aromatherapy is simply let your nose do its job. This is all about impacting the olfactory system in our body. About this far away from your nose, and we're simply going to inhale. So choose your favorite. You don't need to choose time. It's very anti-inflammatory, and using these topically, they usually need to be distributed in a carrier oil. I rarely use essential oils on my skin, and if I do, they are used in an oil, because remember, our skin, it's an organ. We can actually take in too much, and we're going to inhale 3 times. There's 1. And 2. And last 1. The next thing we're going to focus on is our hands, because as our feet are soaking, as you're absorbing all of those mineral oils, and hopefully you're still articulating those toes, you're relaxing your feet, relaxing your ankles, letting all the stress of the day wind down, let all of that go. Let's massage our hands. A little bit of cream goes a long way. And we're gently calming and relaxing our hands. Managing stress and reducing the tension and the swelling in our feet is important for our balance as well, because we want to reduce falls. We don't want to risk falls. Those are dangerous to everyone, regardless of age. And now let's just pull up on our fingers. And as I'm holding my hands up, and you can have your hands in your lap if that's more comfortable, I simply like to keep my hands up because, again, if there's any swelling, we want to let gravity work in our favor. And how is that ice pack on your belly feeling? Are you feeling that you're reducing some of that tension? That's great. Okay. Let's do a little pressure point right here. You're going to be bringing your thumb to your fingers, and you're looking for this raised point right here, And you're going to take the thumb on the opposite hand and put it right on there. Open your hand, and then you're going to press very gently. This area is good to release lymphatic fluid. I even had a dentist years ago, long before I studied reflexology and acupressure, tell me that this pressure point was really great if I had any dental pain. And again, I'm an educator. I am not a clinician. This is not medical advice. This is simply relaxation and stress management techniques that have worked for me and worked well for my clients in my private practice. And now you're just going to pull up. And this is that webbing between your thumb and your index finger. Okay, now other side. Remember, you're just going to close your hand, bring your thumb towards, and then you're going to see that belly. There's that little bump right there. That's what you're looking for. That helps you find the point. Take your opposite thumb, place it on there, open up your hand, and now you're just going to pinch. You don't need to use a lot of pressure. Simply hold it. There's no need to be overly aggressive with your own body. Your body's been calling out for help all day, right? When you took off those shoes and socks and you got your feet in this cool water, hopefully a sigh of relief. And you can use gentle circles, or just pressing into the point, or simply hold the point. You choose. Whatever feels right. Trust your intuition. Okay, and then we're going to be pulling through that webbing. Another way to release tension and lymph. Now let's shake, fingers pointing downwards. Just releasing all of that tension. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Tiffany. I'm the founder of Anderson Therapeutics. If you've been here before, welcome back. I haven't made a reflexology type video for a while. My Aging Well channel is all about my holistic approach to health, and I hope you find this useful. With your feet, as I am flexing fingers here, we're going to stretch and squeeze, stretch. Also work with your toes, articulate your toes. I made another video using warmer water and stones. If you have arthritis like I do, Sometimes our toes can get really tense and really hard to articulate, and that can be dangerous for our balance. So you can get some marbles, some smooth stones, put those in the water, and then practice picking those up with your feet. This is great if you have kids at home, grandkids, kids, whatever the case, and it's actually really good practice to help the mobility of your feet. That's another way that you can actually massage the bottom of your feet in a gentle way. I'm going to show you one more stretch before we finish. How are your feet feeling? My feet are feeling very happy. And remember, if you want to use the marbles, the stones, and the pointing, the flexing, all of these different ways that you can actually articulate your feet, articulate your toes. You could put a little more water in here if you want to help reduce any swelling in your ankles. And something that I like to do, especially if it's been a really hot day and my ankles are really swollen, throw a few ice cubes in here as well. We want to reduce the inflammation, and that means using cooling. If you add more heat, you're going to increase the circulation. Now, for those who have limited mobility and aren't able to bring their feet up to do any type of reflexology points, you can use a towel, and then you can actually do some stretching with the bottom of your feet. So you're just going to have another bath towel. You could use an exercise band, you could use a jump rope, whatever's comfortable. I like a towel because it's very supportive and it's really easy to hold. So you're just going to have this loop down, bring your foot up, and all you're going to do is just pulling. Simply the texture of the terry cloth and the rocking back and forth, this is very soothing. It's very, very relaxing. You're basically just giving your foot, your ankles, and your lower leg a bit of a swing. Now let's bring up the other foot. Same thing. And for anyone, diabetic, neuropathy, this is a very gentle way that you can just relax and just gently encourage that movement. Because now that your feet have been soaking, they're calm. Now that we've finished this gentle head to toe relaxation routine, I hope you're feeling a little more calm, that you'll sleep more soundly tonight, and you've reduced your stress, because now that you've actually decompressed after a hard day, a long day, when you're a little inflamed and you need to calm down a little bit, now dry off your feet, and you can step into your evening, make some dinner, take good care of yourself. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this useful, please give this a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.